So we now come to the second canto. We came to Parikshit's questions to Shukadev. Let's meet Shukadev Maharaj in a little more special way. He is a unique personality. His divine situation is, he is a Leela Shuk of Radhaji. He is a divine parrot in Golok. And he serves in the pastimes of Radha Krishna by saying appropriate things for their pleasure. And we also met him how he heard this Amar Katha and then went into the womb of Vedvyasa's wife. Now he remained in the womb for 9 months. For 9 months his body kept increasing, and after that he continued to remain there for 12 years. He controlled his body there and kept sitting in the womb, refused to come out. He is such a Mahayogi. And his father would say Ved mantras, he would point out mistakes. Father, you made a mistake in the mantra. Vedavyas was astonished. Who is this soul who is not yet born and he's finding defects in my mantras? Vedavyas said, my child, who are you? Shukadev gave an enlightened answer that silenced his father. He said, Father, how should I introduce myself? In different lifetimes I've become different things. What should I say about who am I? Vedavyas said, all right, you're very competent. Why don't you come out? No. If I come out, God's Maya will overpower me. Narad had to come and speak in his mother's ear and say, it's all right, come out. Then Shukadev emerged. Having emerged by the power of his yoga, he made his body of a 12-year-old and left. Immediately renounced. Did not even say, Father, I am taking sannyas. Just renounced. Now his leela was that he was meditating on the formless Brahman, the Advait. So he went into the forest and absorbed his mind in Nirvikalp Samadhi of the highest class. That was naturally attainable to him. So at that time, it's a long story, we don't have time here. So Vedavyasji, he wrote this Bhagavatam. And his disciples, he instructed his disciples, go and say this verse in his ear. So the disciples went and spoke this verse in Shukadev's ear. Varha pidam natavaravapuh karnayoh karnikaram vibhradvasaha kanak kapisham vaijayantim chamalam randhran venuradhara sudhaya purayan gopa vrindair vrindaranyam swapadaramanam pravishad gita kirti. The verse describes the sweetness of Sri Krishna's form. When Sri Krishna is coming back in the evening after grazing the cows, his garland is swaying, he is walking gracefully, his peacock crown is waving in the wind, the flute is on his lips. So Shukadev had been meditating on light. And hearing that verse, the light turned into Sri Krishna. Shukadev said, the personal form of God is so sweet. I was just meditating on light unnecessarily. So he opened his eyes and he asked the boy, where did you get this verse from? So the boy said, this I've got it from your father, Vedavyas. So Shukadev went back to Vedavyas and he heard the whole Bhagavatam from Vedavyas. And that is the Bhagavatam now he is going to relate to Parikshit. So Parikshit's question, you remember? Person close to death. What is his duty? What is his means for welfare? Shukadev said, Parikshit, your question is actually very important. There are so many topics of conversation that are possible in this world. Who shot the MH17 Malaysian Airlines plane? Who will win the IPL? People in the world, they discuss so many things. The problems with their neighbors, the car they should buy, which team will win. Your question is very important. Because everybody is close to death. 60, 70 years may be a lot to us, but when compared to infinity, it is a short while. So, my advice to you is, Parikshit, first of all, become fearless of death. Give up this fear. And how do you give up fear? How do you give up fear? By giving up attachment. People come and say, Swamiji, what is this? The fear is tormenting. What is the solution? The scriptural solution is, fear is caused due to attachment. Bhoge roge bhayam kule chutti bhayam vitte nripalad bhayam sarva vastu bhayan vitam bhuvininam vairagyameva bhayam. If you are attached to wealth, you will fear poverty. If you are attached to sensual enjoyment, you will fear disease. If you are attached to prestige, you will fear humiliation. If vairagya meva bhayam, the moment you become detached, you become fearless. So Parikshit, with the help of detachment, become fearless. And inspire yourself to take advantage of this opportunity. You have got 7 days in hand. It is not less. Your ancestor Maharaj Khatwang, he had only 1.5 ghadis. You know, Maharaj Khatwang had assisted the Devatas in the Devasur Sangram, the fight between the demons and the celestial gods. And finally, when they were victorious, they said, ask for a boon. So Maharaj Khatwang, he was a Suryavanshi king. He said, let me know how much time do I have to die. They said, 1.5 ghadis. You know, prayer is 3 hours and a muhurt is half an hour. And a ghadi is 15 minutes. So you have 15 minutes. Khatwang said, really? In 15 minutes, he completed his surrender to God and attained Him. So Parikshit, you have got 7 days. Don't worry. Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari Shrotavyah Kirtitavyascha Smartavyascha Bhayam. Start doing these 3 things. Shrotavya, hear the Naam Roop Leela Gun Dham of God. His names, forms, virtues, pastimes, abodes, their glories. Sing those glories and meditate upon them with your mind. The same instruction he repeats. Tasmat sarvatma narajan hari shrot sarvatra sarvada shrotavyah kirtitavyascha smartavyo bhagavan nrinam. Shravan, Kirtan, Smaran. Chanting, hearing, remembering. So engage in these 3 things, Parikshit, and then he teaches Parikshit 2 kinds of meditation. So first he teaches him meditation on the Virat, the universal form of Lord. He says, look on this whole universe as the manifestation of God. This will neutralize your rag and dvesh, your attachment, hankering and lamentation. If you see the whole world as the veritable form of God, there will be no attachment and no lamentation. So he teaches him how to meditate on the universal form. And then he says, that cleans your heart. And then go on, Parikshit, and increase your love. So to increase his love for God, he teaches Parikshit meditation on the personal form of God. So he teaches Parikshit how to do Roop Dhyan meditation, which we do every day here. He tells Arjuna, Parikshit to do that. So all this is going on. Now remember, Shukadev is speaking to Parikshit. But this katha is being related by Sutaji to Shaunak and other sages. Right? If you were here yesterday, it's a katha within a katha. So when Sutaji is telling about this dialogue, Shaunakadik say, very good, very good. Hail to you. You are telling us such beautiful pastimes of the Lord and his devotees. Bile bato rukrama vikramanye na shrinvata karna pute narasya jihvasati dadurikeva suta na chopagaya tyurugaya gatha. Those ears that don't hear the glories of God, they are like the bill, the snake holes. Those eyes that don't see the form of God in the temple, they are like the eyes on the plumes of a peacock. That tongue, that which doesn't take the name of God, is like the tongue of a frog doing pit, 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 ghaw, ghaw, tar, tar, tar. So they are saying that life is all about loving God, that heart which doesn't melt in the form of tears on hearing the glories of God is made of stone. So please tell us more what happened. So Sutaji is continuing with the conversation. He says at this time, Parikshit, he asked Shukadev about creation. He said, O sage, I now wish to know, this creation, how did it come about? So Shukadev said, Parikshit, your question is most laudable. This same question was asked by Narad to Brahma. Brahma, the creator, his Manas Putra, mental child Narad, Narad once asked Brahma, O Father, we know you as the creator of this world. We know you as the supreme being in this universe. Did you create this world by your own powers? Or is there some powerhouse behind you who supplies you this power? With whose power have you created this world? So Lord Brahma replied to Narad, he said, Srijami tanni yuktoham haro harati tadvashah vishvam purusha rupena paripati trishakti dhrik. Narad, it's not my power by which I am creating. Just like, by the power these lights and all are functioning. Now where is the power coming from? It's not the power of the switch. The power is coming from the powerhouse. So Brahma says, it's not my power. Srijami tanni yuktoham. Nominated by him, I am creating. Nominated by him, Shankar is annihilating. That supreme, he is holding the whole universe in 1/4 of his being. Innumerable universes like this. So who is that Father? Narad asks. Brahma says, Naham nayuyam yadritangatim vidur navamadeva kimuta pare sura tanmayaya mohita buddhayastvidam vinirmitam chatma samam prachakshmahe Narad, that Supreme Lord, neither I can know him, nor you, nor any of these celestial gods. What to speak of human beings? Where will they know him? Brahma is saying, I cannot know God. And we human beings, intoxicated with the pride of the intellect, we say, Swamiji, why did Ram hide and kill Bali? Why did Ram do such a dirty act? Please tell me. You can understand Ram Leela. You can't even understand your own child and your own wife and husband. You can't even understand your own mind. You don't even know how to make a hair. You don't even know how to make a white hair permanently black. That is the level of us human beings. And that Supreme Almighty you wish to know. Brahmaji saying, Naham na yuyam Narad. That Lord, neither you can know him, nor I can know him. So this conversation, Brahma says, Narad, you know, when I was created, I was born on this lotus flower. When the universe was created, Brahma was born on the lotus flower. I saw all around me raw energy, oceans of energy, masses of energy. Now, see, the elements itself had not yet been created. So it was energy in its primordial form. So Brahma said, I did not know who am I, why am I here, what am I doing, what is my purpose. I entered into this lotus stem. And I continued going in it for 1,000 years. I could not reach the end of it. I then returned. The lotus that comes from the navel of Garbho Dakshai Vishnu. So I returned. And then I sat down on the lotus and I heard sounds. The ocean waves were creating the sounds tapa, 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 meaning austerity, perform austerities. So I sat down there and performed austerities. As a result of that, I received God's grace. So the Lord manifested before me Narad, and he began speaking to me. So at that time, Narayan gave the Chatushloki Bhagavat to Brahma. The 4-versed Bhagavat. So everything in the Bhagavat is an expansion of these 4 verses. So he says these 4 verses he implanted in my heart, on the basis of which I engaged in creation. So the Bhagavat began from there. For example, one of the verses is Ahameva sameva gre nanyadyat sadasat param paschadaham yadetacha yova shishyeta sosmyaham. Narayan says, Brahmaji, I am everything that exists. Whatever is there in this world is my veritable form. Everything in creation is the veritable form of God. Ahameva sameva agre. And where this world stops existing. Now if you continue, at some stage you will come to the end of the world. What is beyond that? So he says, Brahmaji, beyond that is me. And when this world did not exist, during Mahapralaya, what existed? Brahmaji, I existed. And when the world shall wind up and cease to exist, at that time who shall be there? I alone shall exist. Nanyadyat sadasat param, there is nothing apart from me. He then says, Ritertham yat pratiyeta nat pratiyeta chatmani tad vidyadatmano mayam yatha bhaso yatha tama. He says, look, this material energy called Maya, it cannot be perceived without me, but it is only perceived without me. Now this is a confusing verse. It cannot be perceived without me, but it is only perceived without me. What does that mean? Means, look, this Maya is my Shakti. Daivi hesha gunamai mama maya. It is my power. It's not just an illusion. It is my Shakti. So without my power, you cannot experience Maya. But you will only experience Maya without me. When you are devoid of God consciousness, when you have turned your back to me, this material energy will overcome you. So you will experience it without me, but without my power it cannot be experienced. So on the basis of these verses, Brahmaji says, Narad, I created this world. And this katha is being related by Shukadev to Parikshit. So at this time, Shukadev, like a great teacher, he establishes the validity of his teachings. He may say the best of things, but if the student doesn't have faith, then he'll say, Guruji is just off speaking off his head. What's the use? So he has to establish the faith of the disciple. So he says, Parikshit, what I am telling you is the essence of Vedic knowledge. Bhagavan brahmakartsnena triran vikshya manishaya tadadhyavasyat kutastho ratiratmanyatho bhavet. Brahmaji, he churned all the scriptures 3 times. Triran vikshya manishaya. And he extracted the essence of all these scriptures, because our scriptures are so many. In the Vedic tradition, the scriptures are so many. If you start reading all of them, it would take you 500 years. Now, who's got 500 years? In 80, 90 years, Ram Naam Satya hai. So the essence has to be captured and then implemented. So Brahmaji churned the scriptures, extracted the essence, and that essence is bhakti or devotion or love for God, and that is what I am teaching you.